Hello and welcome to the 2028 AGML mock draft. I'm here with my good old partner in crime, Alex,
Hi everyone.
and we're here to show off. Oh shoot, um, forgot to turn off Slack notifications. You guys can hear
Nice.
that. So we're pausing them for 2 hours, so you're not gonna hear beep 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 over and over again. Um, we're professionals here. Um,
Exactly.
but yeah, this draft. I'm pretty excited about this draft. Last one of these we did was the 2026 draft, so 2 drafts ago, and that one wasn't very deep. Kind of got boring towards the end. This one, a lot more
Very, very
thorough, a
boring.
lot more
Yeah.
deep. Plenty of interesting players to talk about in this next whatever hour or so. Probably 2 hours. Let's be real. We don't go the fastest. We like to talk about the guys. So, I guess there's nowhere else to start but pick number one. And I think it's pretty clear who's going first if
Mhm.
Mike's going to make a smart decision. Eagles are a pretty battered team. They have the first overall pick for a reason. And I think anyone other than Essex would be a surprise to me. Donald Exis out of Washington State. Dude's just great. Doesn't have the throw power, or doesn't have the arm as some of the other quarterbacks, but like just the solid accuracies and everything. He just looks like an NFL ready talent out of the gate. I like him a lot. He's 21. I don't.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that, Tyler. It's Donald Essex. I would love to hear if Mike doesn't go with him. I would love to hear his reasoning after the fact.
Mhm.
Uh, Especially in this class, he's a a good head and shoulders over the next guys in terms of accuracy, in terms of NFL readiness. Like you said, he's not the strongest arm in the class, but he has the best accuracy, and that's something that you want coming out of the gate, especially for Mike.
Oh yeah. And again, there's nowhere to get a quarterback quite as good as pick number one. I hope Mike goes him because the Eagles need some direction for that team that's just been lost for the last few years. Um, and then number two, it's actually kind of the opposite sort of team, at least from what I've seen. The Packers look really good this season. Like they have a nice
Mhm.
little team built up. I'm excited to see how they'll perform this year because they have actually quite a not that many holes and not very many holes you'd want to normally pick up here. So I don't know. I think here it might be a really unorthodox pick, but I think one of Paul's biggest needs is tight end, and as weird as it is to draft tight end 2 overall, I think uh that tight end Lucille could be one of the last good tight ends this Madden. Probably the last one you'll be able to develop. It might not be what Paul goes, but I think Paul should go Lucille. Um, he's a beast. Um, and I think like you'll see it with those wide receivers with Bishop, giving Bishop a lot of targets, especially in the sim. You know, it's good to have a good safety valve that will catch anything. And this dude's good at catching, and he's good at catching with people on his ass. So I think it's a smart pick. Give Bishop a lot of, or not Bishop, Gillespie. My bad.
Mhm.
Uh, Old habits. Um, give Gillespie a good target that whenever his young receivers aren't open, dump it off to him, pick up the first down, keep that drive going.
I would love to see Lucille go out. I just could not uh, talk myself into Paul picking a tight end at number two. However, I think that'd be a very smart play for him if he did do so. I have him going Jamal Newkirk out of USC. He's a for sure tackler, and he gets off blocks really well. Their The biggest thing in that defense last year was that their run blocking was or their run Their run defense was awful, 24th in the league. Their passing defense is there. And they made the trade for Gillespie last year, and so it's interesting to see how that offense kind of melds together going forward. But I think if you get Jamal Newkirk into that middle linebacker spot,
Hmm.
he can push out Westmoreland as the number one. They're a 3-4 team. If you get a solid run stopping middle linebacker in Newkirk, that can really help this defense grow to where the Packers can get back to winning a Super Bowl maybe.
Here's
But again, I agree with you. 3-13 does not. I look at this team, I look at their needs, and it's like this should not have been a 3-13 last
right.
year.
It's like they're a decent team. I don't know, like they
I
don't have
yeah
that many holes. Tight end was just one to me the most glaring. And when
yeah.
there's a tight end, I mean sometimes you'll get a good tight end in the first, but it's not a consistent thing. And it's certainly with how short of time we have left with this Madden, I think either one of those picks would be very good for Paul, and Paul's sitting really pretty here with a lot of
hmm
options. There's nothing better than being a good team in the top 10 because there's so
I
much
mean,
you
yeah,
can do.
we saw that with the Saints a few years ago, didn't we?
Hmm. Or even the Giants.
Or the Giants even, yeah.
Yeah, got a lot of flexibility. Next up, we have Sip, who's much more like the Eagles than the Packers.
hmm
Lots of holes. Honestly, at this point, could go anything. Could go anything. There's so many holes.
Absolutely.
I could see him doing anything. And for me, with this quarterback class, there's a lot of there's Essex at top, then about three other guys, maybe two who are like two like the other guys are definitely a lot lower than Essex, but those three guys are kind of grouped pretty close together in my opinion. Um,
I agree. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
but I don't think Sip with those guys they're decent, but I don't think they're worth taking at three when you have that many holes. You could hope one falls down to you at 28 because he does have a second pick later in the draft. Um, I think one thing we've seen, especially with Fordham, like developing quarterback in this Madden needs help. You can't just do it alone. And I think when you have a prospect like Trayvon Riddle from LSU on the board, with that speed and that agility and just that route running and catching,
hmm
it's such a complete package. Everything is there with Riddle. I don't see a single fault with him. Like the only thing I could say is he could be stronger. Like I don't know. He's everything I want in a receiver.
Yep.
He's one of the best receiving prospects we've seen here in AGML this season or this year. And I think Riddle would be perfect for developing a quarterback either this year or next year, trying to get those last few years. Oh, I think Riddle's probably best player available, if not close to it. I would pick Riddle.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think Riddle is probably going to end up being the best player in this draft class. Like you said before, he's got the best speed. He's prototypical height at 6'1". He's got great hands. He can catch over the body. He can catch even when getting hit. He's got good route running, good acceleration, good agility. He is everything that you want in a receiver. And I agree with you again with the quarterbacks. It's Essex, and then it's three guys that you can kind of mix and match how you choose what you like most about certain quarterbacks. But no matter how good a quarterback is, if they have no weapons, it doesn't really matter. They're not really going to do much. And the Jets don't have any weapons, even if they do go quarterback here. And they have a good shot at getting a quarterback with their second pick, I would say. But they have no shot of getting a wide receiver like Riddle anywhere else in any
Honestly,
other draft.
like one thing of note, you'll be seeing very few more wide receivers this mock. Maybe one, maybe one.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's just
Very,
it's
very,
a
very
very
dried up.
dead position outside of this insane prospect. So you have like the best, one of the best we've ever seen, and then no one base.
Yep.
So if you want receiver, you're getting them early this year. and I think that might influence him or Sip. Next up, we have uh, no other one, the Rams. We have him picking at 4, and he's finally gonna drop Goff. We've been telling him to
Yeah,
drop Goff for literally months
since the
now.
quarterback
Yeah,
ranking. I
you
was
can.
actually worried we're gonna have to re-rank Goff after that when we do the
We'd
quarterback.
put him
We do the
veteran stud.
quarterback ranking. It'll be too soon apparently because we still don't know if he'll develop.
But Rams. Thank God Goff's gone. Still has a few needs. There's a reason he's picking at 4. Although Goff was probably part of that issue. But I think here's where you'll start to see some of the second tier quarterbacks go. And my first
Hmm.
second tier quarterback going is Ricky White out of Texas Christian University. Uh, One thing I find interesting about Ricky White, this dude, he's like Josh Allen. He's just gonna throw it far and throw it deep, hoping for the best. Honestly, I think his deep ball's better than a short ball. I'd rather have him going past the sticks, past 20, 30 yards deep. He has that touch I really like, and he's got the arm to back it up. Just everything
Hmm.
else, we just don't know how he senses pressure, even how he handles short yardage situations. It's just really unproven there, but I mean, with an arm like that, you're gonna hope that you can develop everything else after the fact, and just keep honing in on that deep ball, and just hope that you get some deep threat wide receivers that you can steal a lot of touchdowns.
I agree with you. I think the Rams do have to address quarterback. They were last in passing yardage. They were last in points scored. That has a lot to do with the quarterback position, especially looking at the wide receivers that they have.
Hmm.
Ricky White, amazing arm, like you said, amazing touch on his deep ball. And they have JoJo Glover's brother as their number one. They have Kirifi Glover. Sorry
Nice.
for pronouncing that wrong. But he's got some speed to him. He's got some acceleration to him as well. We've seen him take the top off some defenses, and Ricky White can hit him down there, wherever he needs to be. He can probably launch it 80 yards from his knees. I'll say that right now.
He'll throw that or football over that mountain over there. Uncle Rico
Exactly.
it. And he'll do it, and hopefully bring some winning back to LA. Next up, we have Nick as the Colts picking 5th. And he has a few needs, not quite as holy as some of the other early teams, but still not quite as good as he was a few years ago. And he really needs to get some more impact players. I think here you take the best edge rusher off the board, going Matt Cox out of Georgia. He's young, he can tackle, he can hit hard, and he's got that move. That's all you
Hmm.
need. He's quick off the line. He's strong. Again, pretty much a package power rusher. Everything you'd want from a player like him. I think you could turn him into a monster. And the only shame is we won't get to have this Madden go on long enough to see like his true potential. Like by the time this Madden's over, he's just getting into his prime. I feel like it's gonna be a shame to see, but I feel like Matt Cox can be a game changer for the Colts.
I again, once again, agree with you. I think they have to go Matt Cox out of Georgia. He is the complete package. He can run stop it. He has that amazing power move, and he can cause some fumbles when he gets there. Um, that D line is aching for any type of edge rusher that can provide pressure. The cornerbacks are solid, the linebackers are solid, but when the quarterback has all that time to throw, he's going to find a hole eventually. And so Matt Cox shores that up so well. And to get a explosive guy outside the top five, a game changer that Cox is, to fall to you right at that five level, that's
Hmm.
something that you could always wish for.
Like this is like, in my opinion, like a Clowney or a Garrett level
Hmm.
prospect. Like he's that good. Just everyone above him just didn't need that kind of player on the team. They needed
Yeah,
something else just a little more. And I think
yeah.
if Cox falls to 5, like there's no way you can pick someone else. Um, Next up we have
That's a
Vikings
good.
and
Yeah, I like that assessment. Yeah.
shout out to Skull Vikings. He just extended his subscription to us. Thank you very much,
Oh, nice.
Skull.
Nice.
Uh,
Thank you, Skull.
Love it. Um, just a heads up, your for those of you who donated their Twitch Prime subs, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. You're helping us support our Buy Daddy leagues, basically funding Daddy leagues if you're using your Twitch Prime for free if you're not going to use it on anyone else. But they do not renew, so if you haven't already and you were planning on giving it to us again, which again, no pressure to do that. We're not going to be like kicked out of the league if you don't subscribe to us. Give us your money. Um feel like renew that or yeah. And again, don't if you don't want to, don't spend out your money on us. We're just asking for the Twitch Prime if it's just sitting there. Might as well give it to us so you can fund the daddy leagues, fund rewards for content, keeping content fresh next season. It'll be really appreciated. Love you all, y'all. And that's my shilling.
Elevate.
Uh,
Yeah, shilling speech.
yeah, it's my speech. I just have to do it. Again, shout out to our Twitch subscribers. Love all y'all. And
We
I'll love
lost a
everyone
boot.
else in the league too. Just little bit less than that. Just kidding.
Yeah,
God bless
lost a viewer during that.
MCHS. I should know who that is. I feel bad that I don't know who that is off the top of my head. God bless you. I don't. If you say it in the Twitch chat, I'll shout your team out. I just bad at thinking of names off the top of my head. Anyways, that's enough sidetracking.
Enough
Um,
shilling there.
yeah, I don't want to just make this whole thing. Please give us money, cause I mean
The charity stream.
it's a AGML charity stream. Oh, anyway, Skull, we're gonna mock you a good pick. Oh, Bills, of course, it's the Bills. Thank you,
Thank you, Bill.
thank you so much. Um, I yeah, again appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, cause I'm like kind of like it's, I don't know. You don't have to spend your money on us, and you're doing it. Anyways, Vikings. Before I get more distracted and going on
Yes.
chill rant too, um, we're he has a. I mean, he's a few years out of the playoffs now, and I mean, as Vikings fans ourselves, I love seeing the Vikings in the playoffs. Um,
Hmm.
Jacoby Brissett getting a little up there. Uh, so I think now you have to think, what do we do? Max gone. A lot of your old studs are aging or retiring or leaving. I think here, if Alex and Newkirk going second, I think if Paul doesn't pick Newkirk and goes to tight end, Newkirk falls down here. And Vikings
Hmm.
would be great to pick up Newkirk. Jamal Newkirk out of USC. Very good player. Very rare we see a linebacker at his talent here. Very like that tackling and block shedding pursuit. Like he's very competent at that. Got great combine. Newkirk's again just a package. Love him. Not a whole lot to say, just cause just good. Um, he's a good run stopping linebacker.
I because I can't pick Newkirk. I'm gonna go with the second best end in the class, and Tyrone Boyd out of South Carolina. He's not at Cox's level. I don't think anyone's gonna be at Cox's level. What Boyd brings to the table is his incredible strength and his incredible tackling, and he's able to just push the tackles back into the quarterback, and that's what he's gonna help bring to the Vikings. They lost Mac. I could see them going quarterback here. Because of how old Jacoby Brissett is, I wouldn't be shocked. However, I think the replacement of Mack is so vital to this team that you have to go Tyrone Boyd to at least give some presence. You're never going to replace Mack, but to just leave that void there, would only spell doom for the Vikings for the rest of this Madden cycle.
Hmm.
So you have to go Tyrone Bowden, Cy Skull. I know you probably want Seth Hendricks or something of that nature, but you got to look past. You got to
Yeah,
look past all that.
I think Brissett's like that whole team. It wasn't built only on Brissett, even though Brissett was playing at MVP
Oh yeah,
levels only a few years ago. I think you have to. That whole team's a package, and the Vikings always like for the last since Favre really, they've focused on the team and not the QB, and I think it would really keeping that going is how the Vikings will continue to get back to their winning ways.
yeah.
Next up, we have Kevin. And Kevin's an interesting pick here because he left his beloved Rosen onto free agency 3 / free agency
Hmm.
2. Um, and like it's weird because he's been so obsessed with his profile pictures, Rosen. It's like his son. And
Yeah.
is he gonna move on from him, or gonna try to go after him? I'm not quite sure. One thing to note is he is banking on Rosen getting X Factor for the last game of the year, or AGML. He gets his X Factor if he's still around. Um,
Yep.
so maybe he's holding out for that. So that's why I don't have Kevin going quarterback, even though he needs quarterback. Instead, I have him going to another outside linebacker. This one is Jalen Ross out of Ole Miss. And
Mm.
again, another run stopping linebacker. I actually think some of his skills are, in fact, could be better than Newkirk's, but I don't think like his best like talents, like his tackling and all of that, I think are actually maybe better than Newkirk's, but just everything else in the linebacker game maybe not as polished. I feel, but both of them have insane combines. Jalen's strong and quick, and that's what you want for a good linebacker. I like Kevin taking him here if he decides to keep going with Rosen or another quarterback.
Hmm. I mean, I've been looking at following the Ravens and seeing what they've been doing with the Rosen situation. As of now, they have not even talked to his agent about signing him again. So that makes me believe that they are looking strongly at going quarterback here.
Mhm.
And I know with White, we brought up like a Josh Allen comparison,
Mhm.
but I think with the player that they take in Seth Hendricks out of USF, that is the Josh Allen. He's got the arm, he's got the speed, he's got the quickness, he's got the poise in the pocket, but his accuracy is an issue. He is
Mhm.
a project player. He
Sure.
is someone that you have to invest a lot of time into. He's got all the other intangible stuff that you want, but in terms of accuracy, it's a huge question mark for him coming in. But I think if the Ravens are serious about moving on from Rosen, you want to go with Seth Hendricks here. Because if you can just fix that accuracy, you have possibly a top five quarterback in the
Mhm.
league with all of his other skill sets that he brings to the table.
For sure. I like him here. He is a decent prospect, just a little raw, but like
Very, very raw. He is
he's gonna be
incredibly
that
raw.
like could be not. I'm not gonna say he has X Factor depth, by the way, but he has that X Factor of just able to like be slimy and get away,
Mm-hmm.
and that leads me into the eighth pick, the Buffalo Bills. Kyle, again, thank you very much for subscribing. Just 'cause it just
calling
happened. Love you, Kyle.
calling him slimy.
No, I'm calling Hendrix slimy.
Oh, okay.
um, but no, and with that pick, I think instead of going seventh overall to the Ravens, I think Hendricks, if he's still around, goes to the Bills. Bills have just had since we called Josh Allen a franchise quarterback in our QB ratings, he just hasn't lived up to that hype. And I think here you go with, I guess if you're comparing him to Josh Allen, going with Seth Hendricks here for the Bills out of University of Southern Florida. We just talked about him a bit. Big arm, slippery, very questionable if he has the, at least out of college, having the accuracy you'd want for an NFL quarterback. But I think he has enough skills where you can certainly work on him, make him a nice little polished player by the end of the AGML season, or yeah, year. So I'm excited for Seth Hendricks, seeing where he goes. Hopefully, probably coming in at the end of the 10th or the first 10. Let's kind of interesting where these top or the middle three quarterbacks will fall.
Absolutely. It's going to be interesting to watch when you get to watch it live. For the Bills, I have them going Kyle McAllister out of Wisconsin. They picked up Quentin Nelson in free agency. And I think instead of going quarterback, which they might have just thrown up their hands, they go deep into offensive line and build this offense around Braden Hampton, who exploded last year, 5 yards per carry, one of the best we've ever seen.
Hmm.
He's a Wisconsinite. You know how they breed linemen in Wisconsin. He's got great both pass blocking and run blocking ability, and he's got that strength and speed to get in the second level if he pushes off a block as well. He's by far the complete package at left tackle, and he can move Quentin Nelson to the right, or McAllister has played some right tackle before at Wisconsin when needed, so he gets two bench pressing tackles to shore up Brockhampton on those stretches.
Nice. Next up, we have Zach at number 9. And Zach, he had a really solid year last year. He kind of fell off towards the end, but he was keeping up with that tough NFC South. Like, it's not an easy task. Um, I love the South. I'm afraid of this pick because I don't want him in my division. But alas, I'm fair. I'm gonna give Zach a great pick. Probably too good of a pick. I'm a little afraid.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm giving him Tyrone Boyd. Alex had him going to the Vikings, and I mean, the maybe Vikings should have picked him because again, he's a bit spooky. I don't need him tearing up my tackles. But this dude, he's just like he sees that quarterback, he wants to get after him, and he wants to tackle that quarterback or tackle that running back. And while his moves aren't as developed as some of the other players in this draft, I think he still has a very solid power move. You see it. Um, he played or you saw it playing against the SEC against other good quarterbacks. He's gonna wreck up the backfield, and he's not gonna let them break free. Boyd's gonna be a monster, and I don't want him to go to Zach, even though that's where I'm mocking him.
Nice. I think this is you should be afraid of this pick as well.
No,
I think the Panthers go Dante Barner out of Auburn, the 22-year-old free safety. He
this
has
dude's
the
good.
he's so good. He has the speed to go sideline to sideline. He just has a knack for the ball, and if you get in his way, he will knock you out. He will knock that ball out. He will not let you get away from him. He is so good. He reminds me of Ed Reed as a young stud. I cannot wait to see him fall to the Panthers and see what he can do in that backfield. He's an exciting prospect to look out for.
Oh yeah. Um, and again, continuing the trend going forward with the 10th pick, we have Tyler Titans, not me Tyler, but Titans. And I'm gonna follow just a pick behind you, and I think Barner goes to the Titans. Another scary player. Um, I just want him. This guy. Not I have to pick my poison. I've given Zach Boyd. And then Tyler can have Barner. But yeah, Barner. I'm a sucker for first round safeties. I have two very good saves. Well, Haynes has fallen off. Love him, but Barner, he's just a monster in the backfield, or not backfield, but in the back of the field. That sounded weird, but he's he's just hits hard, runs fast, and just has that game sense. You see it like in his film out of Auburn. He's just quick. But he knows what's coming. He knows where that ball's gonna be. He's gonna either hit the player, hopefully forcing a fumble, or picking it off. Barner's just classic safety. Love him. I look at first round safeties are blessed beyond belief. So Dante Barner gets the official my official blessing. Hope he turns out to be a good monster for other Tyler.
I have the Titans going with Jalen Ross. You had him going a few picks up to the Ravens. I agree with everything you said. I think they slot Jalen Ross in at middle linebacker. He's incredibly quick. He can tack. He's a sure tackle. He can get off blocks incredibly well. They need someone, a leader in the middle, and Jalen Ross, I think, has that ability to shift to a middle linebacker role. He's still pretty hefty. He's 248. He's got good size for a middle linebacker as well. I'm excited. I would love to see Voss fall to the Titans and see what he can do with them.
Oh yeah, Ross is another. These top two outside linebackers, they're special players, especially in
Mhm.
4-3. I love him in 4-3, and I think, but they could really play for any team because they're that solid of linebackers. And linebackers at this point are a premium player. It's hard to get good ones. I think we'll see
Oh,
these guys
absolutely. We're seeing
both
this.
go not leaving the top 10. I'd be very surprised if they left the top 10. Um, Next up we have Jack from Down Under. I'm gonna say the name wrong. Everyone's gonna make fun of me for my accent. The Jaguars. The Jaguars. Say the line, Bart.
Jaguars. Jaguars.
Jaguar. Jegs.
Jaguars.
The
Yeah,
Jegs.
the Jigs.
The Jigs. Um, but I think Jack has almost a monstrous D line, almost perfect. He has two
Mhm.
edge rushes, one just breaking the sack record, single season sack record, and I think single game sack record in last
Yes.
season, and then Slack across it him, who's no slouch himself. But his the interior is just kind of weak, and I think here you make get yourself the best D line in the league. Give yourself Vernon Montague out of Washington State. This dude's young, he's strong, he's fast, he's got moves, he can get off blocks, and he can run you down. I mean, I said I love first round free safeties. I also love first round DTs. Montague's blessed. Jack, you're so close to competing, and this might not be the best thing to get you over that hump, but also like that D line could be so monstrous, and Montague is that guy this class that can make that line monstrous.
While you're sticking on the defensive side of the ball for Jack, which I think is pretty good. Now, granted, they do need some runs. They do need some run help. They were last in rushing,
And that's what
but
Montague
he,
helps there.
it does absolutely. But you trade for Ricky Bishop, you see like a resurgence in him, and you get him Will Lascelles. You had going number two.
Mm-hmm.
I think if that falls to Jack, you get a great weapon for him. We see how valuable tight ends are and
Mm-hmm.
how important and how game changing they are if you get a good one. And you want to talk about Jack's getting finally getting over that hump. If Bishop can turn it on, like we have seen flashes of before in his Giant days when he had a good tight end in Ingram, then I think that would push Jack way over the hump
Of
and maybe
course,
even
yeah.
get him to a conference game. Because Bishop, I still like him. I still believe in him. And I think Jack really built around him well and just get him that one safe measure in tight end.
For sure. I mean, I would probably give it to him if I could. I mean, I had him going number
Hmm.
two. That's the weird thing about tight end, though. Like, I think he either goes two or falls here because,
Hmm.
like, there's just not that many players or people who need to pick him. And Paul's just in a weird position where he can pick anyone because he just
Yeah.
doesn't have that many holes, and a tight end is a bit of a luxury pick, not gonna lie, but it's a luxury that can make that big of a difference. Next up, we have DDP with Washington, and it always feels like the Redskins here have a lot of needs. I don't think it's really changed. It's almost like chasing down like whack-a-mole, almost like you're trying to. You have so many needs you need to address. You hit a few, then other ones come up from retirement or regressing and just not being able to resign people. So I think here, while you can go a lot of people, you have that new quarterback from the Steelers.
Yep.
You gotta protect him. I think here you go Kyle McAllister. Dude's a beast. Strong as hell. Act fast as hell too, at least relatively, as far as 338 6'8" boys go. Pretty fast. Um, but this dude, he can block the run, block the pass, and block it strongly. I don't see a fault in his game. I think it's insane that he's like not insane, but if he falls this far, it's a great pickup. One of the best linemen this, well, the best O line this class.
Yes. I we're gonna swap. We're gonna swap again. I'm going on the defensive side. I think they go Devontae Henry out of Central Michigan, the speed rusher. I love his quickness. I love his first step. He's got that great finesse move. He can get around offensive linemen. They did, surprisingly, you can't wait to hear this. They were the best defense in pass defense last year. They were third in scoring defense. They just had awful
Mm.
rushing defense, and that really led to their demise, I feel like. And they just don't have a decent enough defensive line to fix that right now. But if you get Devontae Henry's speed, he can close off the edges incredibly well to make sure running backs can't get outside, push him back inside to his amazing defensive tackles in Chad Sapp and Vincent Burton. And I think that defensive line with Devontae Henry could transform this defense incredibly well.
Yeah, no. If like that happens, I mean DDP. I hope like this team, despite me not being a huge fan of the name, I think you could be the one who finally puts some legitimacy to that team in a division with some really big titans. Like I think you
Mm-hmm.
could get that team to be with those titans of Chris and Cody. Mike hasn't been there for a while. Sorry, Mike, if you're listening. But I think by the end of this AGML, you'll be able to stand with them. Hopefully, if you play your cards right, draft a good one of those good players we just mentioned here could turn your team into a contender. Next up, wait, what's this team? Don't know. Never heard of
No
them.
clue.
Um, in the newly acquired 13th pick, the Buccaneers, I think. Uh,
I
uh
believe the three-time NFC
losers.
runner-ups.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
losers. um, I traded my future away, for this. Hoping to move up, hoping to get one of these last good players or last top tier players. We'll see if anyone falls to me. And actually, while this pick might not be quite as top tier as some of the other picks, my heart goes to him. I love him because of his school. Oh, the North Dakota State Kashim Hutton cornerback. God bless him. Played in the Fargo Dome. Kicked some ass there. Probably won a national championship. Won probably like 2027. We have at least 6 more national championships at this point. You know, go Bison. Horns up. Um, but no, Kashim Hutton's kind of good. Uh, maybe not again, not as good as some of the players we've talked about. Uh, but he's really good at man, almost like Xavier Rhodes in that sense, where his
Mhm.
man's really good. His zone's a bit questionable, but he's really aware and he knows like he just has that sense of when the ball's being thrown and where that receiver is going to be. And he's not a slouch either, and he's pretty strong. I love him. Maybe I'm picking him because of his school, but corner is kind of a need for me.
Hmm. I agree with you. I think it's Kashim Hutton. Uh, I think you hit the nail on the head with the Xavier Rhodes comparison. He's strong. He's not the fastest player, but he can line up 1v1 on their best receiver and just knock him out of the game. Like
Hmm. He's
he
a
can
bully
completely
almost.
he can shadow the best receivers there are. And I have nothing more to say than that Xavier Rhodes comparison, which was on the money for it.
Oh yeah, no. Um, I am a fan. Next up, oh I haven't put it in, but next up we have Skull again. Picking
Hmm.
twice in the top half of the draft, and a Skull. Here I think he goes a little more of a luxury pick. We both had, or actually we both had him going on the defense. I think here he has to go with Homer's son, Bart Leary. Don't laugh. That's not good.
That's not funny. Not clever.
Not clever at all. Bart's just like, while like projection wise, uh, he might not be as talented out of the box as some of these top level players. I think it's rare to see a power running back who's that strong, that fast, with still a little quickness. This dude, this dude will just almost like he's not as good as Adrian Peterson. There's no way he's gonna be as good as
No,
Adrian
no,
Peterson,
no, no. Don't
but he
even.
has a little shades of that. Like he'll push you down. It's hard. He's hard to tackle, and he just sees those holes that he can just push through. Well, not again, not Adrian Peterson by any stretch of
No.
the imagination. Uh, but I mean, he's kind of plays that role of
Hmm.
strong, a little quick, but mostly just seeing those holes, pow, and making people miss.
I'm gonna have the Vikings go Bartley as well. I see Michael Turner in him. I don't know if you remember Michael Turner from the early 2010s, 2012s
Sure.
season. Incredible power back, incredible vision. But he still had some quickness. He could still hit a hole and just take you down 80 yards. But outside of that, he was always a consistent power back that could get you yardage when you needed it most. And I see Bart Leary in that a lot. Um, he is the best running back in this class. The Vikings have no running back.
Mhm.
Uh, so it's kind of a match made in heaven for the two.
All right.
And they got to replace Dalvin somehow.
Oh yeah. Um. Next up, we have Jim. Good old Jim. Really a down year. I'm surprised. You win two Super
Hmm.
Bowls. Guess some. You're supposed to have the hangover for the first year. Jim totally ignored it. Still criticizing Tobias. Maybe let up on the Tobias uh uh hate just because it's like you win two Super Bowls. Maybe just maybe give him a little bit of a break. But that break totally screwed him. I don't know why Jim gave him less hate. Truly a surprise. But anyways, they're picking 15 now, which is way below, I'm sure, what Jim ever expected. So here, I think he goes with a pick to protect that trash. You don't want people stealing your garbage. So I think here you gotta go with the best right tackle, Josh Albright, decent player, probably more than decent. I think this dude could be great, dude. Definitely a combine warrior. Always good to see a right tackle be just a physical freak. You know, not the flashiest pick, but just someone to help protect Tobias. Maybe keep Kamara going for his last few years.
I agree with you again on Josh Albright. He is a combine warrior. I think him and McAllister are kind of like 1A, 1B.
Yeah.
Um, McAllister's the unanimous A though. Like he's
Mhm.
incredibly talented. It's just
And I think
Albright
left tackle
a
is always
little
more
behind him.
valuable than
Yeah,
right tackle.
yes. Now the question I have for him is for Jim when he does make this pick in Albright is where does he slot him? Because his
Mhm.
tackles are solidified. His tackles are great. It's that interior that he has to fix. So he has to take one of his tackles and shove them inside. And I'd be interested to see what he does with that. I would
Mhm.
assume he would go to Carvalho because he's lost a step a little. He's not the fastest compared to Albright. And you definitely want Albright just because of his speed alone. You want him on the outside to keep up with those edge rushers in the south.
For sure. Got some fierce boys.
Hmm
Especially if I'm right and Boyd goes to
That's yes,
Zach.
exactly. That would be a great that'd be a great
That's a
call.
good counter to
Uh,
Boyd.
yes, very much so.
Um, well, yeah, Jim. Boring picks probably for Jim. But I think it's just with that team is still ready to compete. Just a little more help, and I think they can go be right back where they were. Next up, uh, name you might see a few more times. Cody Cowboys, and yeah, okay, another team. Not a whole lot of holes, but the holes they do have aren't exactly in this draft anymore,
No.
and it's tough. You don't want them to not be here, but that's what it is. And I think here, again, it's not flashy, uh, not that exciting, but I think here you just gotta go with best lineman available, and I think you just go Jamichael Lockley. Uh, he's again, he's Alabama. He's pretty fast, decent strength, just makes that impact, and good at pass blocking. He's fine, decent interior. They're not flashy, taking a break from the flash, but Jamichael Lockley could be an impact player on that Cowboys line who's pretty decent.
Yeah, I agree with you there on Jermichael Lockley. I think the Cowboys just have to take offensive line because no other need of theirs is available in this class
Mhm.
at this point, or none that I would take this high at 16 at least.
Yeah.
Um, Lockley is great. He'll protect Williams from interior pressure, which Williams tends to struggle a little bit with because he wants to run through them and not around them. These and Cody knows how to draft O line. He knows how to develop O line. We've seen that with the Josiah Mack pick and the
Mhm.
Antonio Mays pick, and this I think is just another pick in the long line of great picks that Cody has made to beef up this Cowboys O line and keep to that tradition of this beefy O line.
For sure. I mean again, not flashy, but it's just hard to draft anyone else when that's probably your best position or most important position in need that's has some decent talent in my opinion.
Yeah.
Um Next up we have Salsa. And Salsa is kind of losing his dominance on that AFC West. He's always there, always him and Chiefs, kind of fading away. I believe he missed the playoffs.
He
Um,
did. Well, he was
yeah,
fourth. He was fourth in our division.
was he? Oh, I
Yep.
guess it
It
was
was
so
me.
tight.
It was me.
Yeah,
Yeah, me and Raiders were 9-7. And then Chiefs were 11
yeah,
and 5, and then they were 8-8.
but yeah, 8-8's the worst team in division, so still a good division, still probably a good enough team to maybe eke out a couple more wins. So I think
Mm-hmm.
here, their or D line still, um, or with edge here. I messed up. I looked at the wrong pick. My bad. But yeah, Edge still good, not as old, or still fairly competent. Gross up the middle, but in the back, the middle, just kind of weak. And I think here you may reach a little bit, but it's a position probably worth reaching. I think you just go Broughton here, because it's
Hmm.
hard to find a talent this decent at linebacker at 17, and I don't think you're getting it talent this decent any later in any other draft. So I think here you go Broughton. He's out of Washington. There's a lot of Washington State guys this draft. It feels
Yeah,
like you
apparently
have
so.
Essex. He went first. Then I had um Montague. He's the defensive tackle out of Washington State, and here we have Broughton out of Washington State. Probably championship winning team. Would say so. But he's a monster. He's fast and he's quick, and he is good at just getting to the player and knowing where he's gonna go and hitting him hard. Not a whole lot to him, but he's a good linebacker.
I once again we're gonna agree here in these middle picks. I have them going Broughton as well. He's incredibly quick. I think they shove him inside again. I think he's a better suited as the middle linebacker for what Salsa wants out of him.
Mhm.
This whole sideline to sideline, he can cover anything that Badgley and Chubb has. I mean the Broncos defense, the Broncos front seven is what keeps this team competitive.
Mhm.
Even through their constant quarterback carousels of veteran studs. I mean, they are veteran players, and he's finally gotten this young quarterback in Bart Giles. Now, whether he keeps up with Bart Giles for the remainder of Madden, we'll see.
Mhm.
However, he is very prideful of that front seven, and I know he loves to keep picking there. And Broughton is another force of nature for that front seven, just to keep
Sure.
up with it
Yeah.
as Chubb ages and Chubb is ready to pass the torch.
Mhm. Next up, we have another team not quite sure about.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
San
The sh- the
Diego.
the should have been playoff team
The
Chargers.
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, the San Diego Josh Jacobs. Yeah,
Um,
he is
and
the team.
while this might be controversial, I don't think with Bart gone, I'm not a fan of the other halfback as much as Bart. Um,
Hmm.
so I don't think the other running backs worth taking here, and so I think you just shore up your front four and uh, you go Devontae Henry. You had him going way earlier. Um,
Hmm.
I believe yeah, you had him going to before even I picked. I think just he falls based off of other players picking or other GMs picking other more important players to them. We have a little streak where edge isn't as important outside, and you know I think here though, if Henry falls, you'd be sitting very pretty, you'd be very happy, because while this guy seems to be a one-trick pony, that one trick's monstrous. He's got an insane finesse move, like in next level, and everything else isn't quite as good. But if you can just, if your finesse move's that good, why do you? Who cares? You know, you're quick, you're fast, you can get around the guy. He's gonna be a monster. Maybe help him develop another move, improve some of his other skills. Could even turn into one of the best rushers in the league. If maybe we'll run out of time for that, but we'll see.
Yeah. I the Chargers traded for Philip Pace, the running back out of Carolina. They gave up a second, and while I like Philip Pace, I don't think he can do it alone. I am gonna go Kendall Murphy out of Rutgers. I am getting the running back. We were 30th in rushing yards last year. We saw that in week 17, how bad that was. Gardner he impressed me. He impressed me. He was number one in yards. I mean, I don't blame him for being number one in yards. He had to do it all on his own, and so I want to get Gardner help.
Hmm.
And if I can get this Pace, who is a great power back, but then spell him with Kendall Murphy, who is a receiving back, who can, get a little wiggle going. He still can find holes. He's still got a little shiftiness. I think that 1-2 punch can put this team over the edge. It was close. I mean, it went down to overtime, week
Oh yeah,
17, right? Like, it was that close to being a playoff team. And it was the running game that spelled its doom.
oh yeah. Like I mean, you had how
So,
many? Yeah, you had like two
I,
chances, and then he
yeah,
fumbles.
more than, yep, and then the fumble, yep. And then
So,
the stops at the goal line and
mm,
everything else. Like this team, Garner averaged over 50 passing attempts a game.
sure.
That's
I my
unheard of.
yeah.
That's unheard of. I needed to address the running back position, and I need to address it hard.
I just don't
I would
think
love Henry.
Murphy's where it, or I don't think Murphy's just a good value. You'd certainly be reaching there, in my
Hmm.
opinion. I
Hmm.
think you still have other needs. It's not like a running back gonna magically solve all your issues, in my opinion.
Sure.
So I think,
And I do have trouble on the defensive line with getting pressure. I would not mind if Henry dropped,
hmm
or if any of these top tier edge rushers dropped. I
yeah.
would not mind.
Which I mean, I think they
Absolutely
could
would
because
not
there's
mind.
just
They
so much
could,
talent up here.
and that would be a hard weigh in
Hmm
if it were to happen and come to my feet. But right now, there's really no um,
Sure.
edge rusher worth their salt left.
hmm Next up,
Anyway, moving on.
we have Rob. Rob the Raiders, but don't actually
Oh,
rob
they're
them because they're a decent team.
they're decent people,
They they may be Raiders, but they're decent, so don't rob them.
not barbarians.
I'm sure Rob's gonna be like adding me in the Slack, being like, "That's a bad joke. Don't make fun of my name." But and I might even go up against a Rob principle. I think Rob's a staunch, young player person.
Hmm.
He doesn't like to mess with people over the age of 22. I'm not
Hmm.
100% on that, but I think here in the twilight of this, with yeah, twilight of this season, or yeah, AGML season, I think you're going to have to be like, all right, age isn't quite as a priority if they're already pre-developed. If they have better starting, even if they're 23, go for it. And I think that's the case here with Adrian Isaac. I think Isaac out of the box is probably better than Broughton. Not gonna lie, but I think
Hmm.
even if Broughton's younger and has more potential, maybe it's a tough call. They're definitely different players,
They're different. Yeah, I don't think I could make
but
that
I will put it on
for
the table.
sure.
I'm pretty sure come draft day, I think Adrian Isaac's going to have a higher overall than Broughton,
Okay.
but
Yeah, I can give
or
you
at
that.
least equal. But I mean,
Yeah.
Broughton is 21. That is a pretty big plus. But Isaac's no slouch anyway, or anyhow. He's quick, got a bit of agility, and honestly, I think his skill set, even with his agility and quickness, I think he still has the talent set of a run stopper. So I think you could fit him in
Mhm.
both. Like he's both quick, could pass rush if he needs to, or stop the run. He's good at chasing down the ball carrier and good at hitting him. And good at, and we've said it about the linebackers a few times. They're just good players. This has been a really good linebacker class. I like all the four we've covered so far. Yeah, I think Isaac going to the Raiders, despite his age, would be really good pick for Rob. Um,
Am I in?
yeah, you
I
are.
think I lost. Okay. Okay, I think I lost it.
You
Um,
lost what?
I just lost like connection for 2 seconds.
Ah,
Anyway, yeah, Isaac. Isaac, I heard everything.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, with Isaac, yeah, again, like Rob, I know you don't like oldies. I get it. I understand. Um, but what else, what other choice do you have in here in terms of needs that you have, and needs that you need to address? I mean, again, you like me, we're one game away from the playoffs. You got torn apart at the second level, and your linebackers aren't that good. You got to take Isaac. He's an immediate plug and play starter. You're so close to making the playoffs, and at that point, it's fair. It's the Wild West up there. So make this pick. I know it's against your gut, but he can be special for you.
Oh yeah, I love
And I
Isaac.
agree. I agree. I think day one starter, Isaac is better overall than Broughton. I think day
Hmm.
one he'll make more of an impact coming in, but next year and the year after, I think Broughton just has more potential than Isaac has. Isaac has a lower ceiling.
Oh yeah, and I think that's fair. But ceiling isn't quite as big of a deal right now.
True.
Like
True.
when you're these players are only gonna get to be. I think even Isaac, he's gonna be at I think
26.
27, 26, 27,
26, 27. Yeah.
around there. Like he'll still be
Yep.
developing, really. Maybe at the end of
Yep.
his development, but still, he'll still be developing. So I think
Yeah.
you have to worry less about age now, and worry more about how much of an impact they can make day one. Anyways,
Yeah, absolutely.
we'll go moving on to number 20. Sadly, I have a sad announcement to make to those who haven't checked the Slack. The Bengals owner, Sorelio, I love him. Dude's been really fun to have these past few years. He's really put that Bengals team on the map, made some good moves in my opinion. Um,
Hmm.
but sadly he's stepping down, and yeah, love you. Reading your post, you'd love to come back. It seems, but just stuff getting busy right now, and I totally get that. Uh,
Yeah.
but anyways, whoever we get in as the Bengals, they're still gonna have to pick here. You know. So I think here, uh, you have a new Bengals owner. We don't know who it is. Um, we have a few ideas, but again, not quite. We don't have a definitive person. But I think if you're taking over this Bengals team, even if it has a few holes, I think you're gonna want your own quarterback. You, with Luck retiring especially, your own
Hmm.
quarterback's gonna be yours and make this team not anyone else's, but your team. And I think here you go. Even if it uh the last of the top decent quarterbacks. I think you take the Mormon, Gordon Carter, BYU boy. This dude, he's a lot like White, Ricky White, who we had going fourth. I don't think he has as much of the polish as White. Um, but this guy, he has really good accuracy, and that's one thing. He doesn't have quite the deep balls, White. That's the one issue, but he still has the arm. But he's actually a lot better at throwing short, in my opinion, than White. Deep ball's
Hmm.
not as known, but again, if you can throw it in the middle, throw it short, even no matter what else he can do, you can at least build around that and develop around that if he's at least keeping the ball safe.
Yeah.
And I think Carter
Uh,
would be good for whoever the new Bengals owner is.
yeah. Yeah, to whoever the new Bengals owner is, Sorelio, it was great to have you. Hopefully we can get you back in time after this all blows over. They need some help at O-line. They lost Luck. They need a new quarterback. I agree with you, Tyler. They do want another one, but if they're just getting hit and hit, they're never going to
Hmm.
develop. And so I think they go Malcolm Roach out of Tennessee. Strong, strong interior lineman. Can play some center, can play some guard, maybe some right guard if need be. He's incredibly smart guard. He's incredibly smart interior offensive lineman, which is why I like
Hmm.
him at center. Can point out who's blitzing for the new quarterback that they bring in. and he
Sure.
makes a big impact. I think he'll make a big impact on whatever running back they have. They have Marcus Coles, an incredibly speedy young running back. I think Malcolm Roach, they're gonna have to lean on Marcus Coles next year, I feel like. And what better way than to bring in Malcolm Roach to shore up these interior handoffs?
Oh yeah. Again, Roach is good. It's basically the flaw. It's kind of two opposite picks almost that we have here. You either have the flashy, exciting pick, going the quarterback. It's always fun. There's
Yep.
drafting a quarterback might be the most stressful pick you can make, but it's also the most rewarding if it turns out. Lineman is the
Yeah.
exact opposite. So boring. You're not excited unless they have decent dev. It's hard to get dev. But like you're not
Listen.
excited. You're just like I'm doing this for the good of my team.
Yep.
And you're, but I think the Bengals owner, we'll see. We'll see if they're trying to make a mark quick or if they're making a more methodical run.
Whatever it is, let's support them with our scouting.
Yeah, for sure. Uh, I mean they're probably not listening, but yeah, I'll
Oh,
give
they
them
might
my
watch
little.
it back.
That'd be cool.
I don't know.
Shout out. Shout out to the new owner if they're watching this
Yeah.
on YouTube. YouTube.com/ AGML streams. I don't know if we have that domain, but check out our YouTube channel.
There you go.
Next up, we have Wiley, another member of the ferocious NFC South. And here, I think there's one obvious pick. You just have to go with the legend out of North Carolina, Jimmy Gammon. What a leg Jimmy Gammon has. He's a punter. You know, you just need that dude to, as Wiley himself said, hashtag coffin corner. You know you gotta
Exactly.
have Jimmy Gammon on your team, and if it takes a first round pick to secure him, you just don't want him to be next year being making Facebook or Instagram posts being like 20 or 31 teams pass me up, and Wiley missed him because some other team wants a good punter. Sorry, that's a bad gig. That's a try gig. I always just have
Yeah.
to answer
Please.
it because it's not a real podcast if we don't, as as Wiley himself said in the Twitch chat. Um, but actually, if he doesn't decide to make the smart decision, I think he's gonna go with as you gave the Bengals. I think you just have to get O line. Starkey, he's good, but a lot of times he just didn't have time. I think Malcolm Roach, he'll help with that, especially yeah, NFC South. Lots of pass rushers, both interior and
Especially,
on the
yeah.
edge. Just everyone. Every team's a threat, and you just have to get someone who can protect Starkey. Because Starkey's good. He just doesn't have time. I feel.
Hmm.
And Roach, yeah, it's just a solid dude. Like him. Can pass block and good at impact. Pretty strong. Uh, not exciting, but probably a necessary pick.
All those necessary picks. Yeah, I agree. He has to protect Starkey. I feel like we had brought this up the last time we did our mock draft. Was that Starkey just has no protection. It doesn't look like he's fixed that. I can tell you right now he hasn't fixed that. Starkey was sacked 50 times, a career high last year.
Oof, duh.
Uh, right? My God.
It's
I think you got to protect his blind side and Jermaine
sure.
Phelps, right? I believe Jermaine Phelps. He's not the strongest, but I think he's the better pure pass blocking tackle. I think he's one of the purest pass blocking tackles in this class. And you're like Starkey's good. I love Starkey so much. It's just he doesn't have any help in terms of time.
Mhm.
Uh, he's got the receivers galore. He's got the running backs pretty good. But you know what? You go 9-7 and miss the playoffs with Starkey for a reason.
I mean, he made it.
It's because he made it. Yeah,
He made
sorry,
it. He
but
just lost in the wild card
he
round.
got might as well have missed it. You got to go. Yeah, get Jermaine Phelps, get Starkey something to improve on. Get those Starkey hype videos, not just being
Yes,
him getting
Starkey
sacked 50
hype.
times.
God bless the Starkey
All
hype
right,
videos.
we're good.
Honestly, hype videos in general are great.
Make hype videos. Boom.
Um,
Agreed.
Next up, we have we have Ryan. Ryan picking at number
Yes.
22, and I think as we get on towards these playoff teams, and you see it with every playoff team, you have a lot of not a lot of holes. You made the playoffs for a good reason, generally, because you're a good team. So
Mhm.
it's a lot of the holes are hard to draft this late. But I think here you take, uh, well, it might not be an immediate position of need, and you probably have a few could go with your few picks here. I think the first one you pick a corner, Jeffrey Holiday. Maybe not quite as good. This corner class is fairly weak. No one who's like top tier, and Jeffrey Holiday is probably the second, not even as good as most second corners in a class are. But he has he's pretty quick off the line, good at man. I mean, honestly, he's like a budget Hutton. Like,
Mhm.
Kashim, he has a lot of the same like pros to Kashim Hutton, just a little worse. And but that's not a bad thing. Kashim Hudson's good. You heard me rave about him, and that not just because he's from North Dakota State. Well, that's part of it. Connecticut's not as exciting as North Dakota State, but it's how it goes. But Jeffrey
How it
Holiday,
goes.
and we might see his brother later on. We'll see. But yeah, Jeffrey Holiday, all right corner. Not a flashy pick, but sometimes you just need that depth, and corner's always nice to have some depth at.
Mhm. I'm gonna keep with this run on offensive linemen here in the later half for the almost playoff teams and playoff teams. I think they go with the little diamond in the rough, Kerry Rice out of Maryland. He's a project at tackle. He's got good flashes. He's got good strength. He's got good physical ability. Um, but they have the reigning rookie of the year in Zach Bono. They gotta protect him. They don't have a left tackle right now. And unless they're trading up to get one of these staunch left tackles, which I would not be opposed to, you got to at least get something. And I think Kerry Rice is something that's at least worthwhile and something that you can invest in that left tackle for the remainder of this Madden and not have to worry about it. And address other needs as you will with your next pick and two picks, Patriots. So yeah,
So I made
nothing much to say about
I had a
them.
little mistake. Um,
Hmm.
I my list here. I accidentally flipped Holiday and who I actually thought Patriots was gonna pick.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I make this list to make sure I don't spend the whole time looking for a prospect. But sometimes just with how the spreadsheet is, I just
Yeah.
accidentally miss the lot or look at the wrong uh call out or row. And so I had him
Yep.
taking Phelps, who you already had going earlier. And Phelps again, O line, uh, not very exciting, but again, it's a necessary pick. And yeah,
Protect
keeping
Bono.
Bono. Yeah, you were right. And again,
Hmm.
that leading into Dustin's pick. I'm sorry, Dustin, not giving you as much time, but I said some okay things about Holiday. That still stands. Holiday's gonna be a good depth player. Don't you need multiple corners? And I think he's still a good
Yeah.
he'll probably develop into at least top two corner. And
Hmm.
I like his upsides. He's not quite as fast as I might like, but I mean, I think having him around, he's very quick, just not top line speed. Uh, and yeah, just having him around for Dustin. Uh, Dustin actually doesn't have very many holes, so I think that's why giving him more corner depth, making sure that secondary is stout and will always be stout no matter what happens.
Yeah.
Guy
They need
needs
some pass.
rest,
They
guy
need some
needs gets
pass help
hurt,
anyway.
and a guy who
Yeah.
can develop into someone who's very serviceable to even good, honestly.
Hmm. Yeah, I have the Steelers taking on the defensive side as well. I think they go Vernon Montague, which you had going to Jack all the way up at pick number 10 or 11. It was 11 for Jack. I like him. I don't value defensive tackle as highly as you do, which is why I had him fall all the way down here to the later first half. He the defensive tackle spot for Dustin is iffy at best. I love Vernon Montague's power moves. I love just his combine. He's a huge combine warrior. Pairing him with Riddick, who is blown up in terms of his ability to get to the passer and just taking on a double team or two for Riddick is will do insane things for Dustin, who's really trying to get over that hump. And he's been trying to get over that hump for the last few years, especially, and he's getting closer and closer every time.
Hmm.
I would love, yeah, I think Montague's the pick just to push him a
Montague,
little closer.
like I said, Montague, for me, went all the way up at 11. I think this
Hmm
dude's a monster. I mean, of course, I'm always gonna kind of
Yeah,
trend DTs higher than some people think DTs are, but this dude, to me, looks a lot like Sharif Watson looked to me. A guy
hmm
who, despite Madden saying he's a run stopper, can still get that pressure, and I love that. Like, you got the kind of the best of both worlds, where you can still have some in, interior pressure while making sure the running back doesn't get through. Now we're back at Ryan, and I feel
long
I
time no
still feel
see.
bad. Sorry about that. My pig mix up. That's all my bad. Um, but here's gonna be a much more interesting pick. It's not gonna be a boring O line. Finally, for once in our life, thank God that run of O line's over. I'm
Yeah, it's
I'm done
over.
with O line. The
Same.
podcast got boring,
It
and
did. There's
now it
nothing to
could
talk
get
about there.
interesting. But one thing, Ryan, you have very old pass rushers.
So
Some
old.
like I mean, Sweat's 31, Davies 31, and DeForest Buckner's
Buckner's.
34. And while they were good, and they're still serviceable, you really like next year they're gonna be gone or ancient, and you're gonna need someone. And honestly, this guy, I think you could probably start him this year, and he'd be more than fine. But I think here you gotta go Connor Camp. Dude's really quick, not quite as strong as some of the other guys we'll see in a little bit, but very fast, very quick, and he's got that really good finesse move. I love
hmm
him. Not gonna make mistakes on play action. He's gonna make sure he can get that runner. He's smart at calling that out. I think Connor Camp is a really good youth pick. Almost like honestly, he's like 10 to 15 years or
They were
13
they were
years.
um
Yeah,
they were like just becoming freshmen in high school when Connor Camp was
Yeah,
born.
this dude's a lot younger.
Like,
Uh, Camp's fun, and I think here we'll start to see like this. We kind of this top tier few um edge rushers like Cox, like Boyd, even Henry.
mhm.
Like those three were probably the
Yeah.
top tier. Here's like the second tier, who are for like a class this late is really good second tier edge rushes in my opinion.
In any other class, Camp would be going in like the top 15, I would say, just looking at it. But this class is so deep at defensive line that
Mhm.
he falls, and Patriots very much get a winner with that. I have him going Camp as well. Like you said about this play action, this guy knows how to look out plays. He knows how to get to the ball quickly. He knows where to be, and he has that amazing finesse move, that great first step as well. Uh, and
Mhm.
he's just incredibly agile. Like he's not the strongest, but he doesn't have
Sure.
to be. He's not the tallest. He's 6'1". He'll get lost in the shuffle against the tackles who are like 6'6". So he'll just go
Mhm.
underneath them and around them and get to the quarterback in less than 2 seconds.
Oh yeah, I love him. I think
hmm
this second tier of edge rushers are
Yeah.
very fun. I'm I'm sure these playoff team. I would have probably picked one up if I was didn't trade out, but um,
Yeah.
instead I need something else. Probably not edge rusher as much as I'd like one. Next up we have Cody, and again,
Yes.
probably not the last time we hear Cody, just because he just built up
Uh,
a bunch
yeah.
of picks. Like,
Hmm.
God, I feel like we've been over Cody way too much. I guess we didn't do one last year where he had another like 4 picks or something.
That would have been awful.
I
Love
mean,
you, Cody. It's just so hard to get like 4 picks
and
for a
like you're gonna
person.
see me do this where it's like I was looking at this team, it's like, well, there's a lot of okay players, but like
Yeah.
none of them quite fit your holes. And I feel
Hmm.
like you're like the way I had to get kind of creative here because it's again your team's good and it's hard to put these good or I don't want to replace your young players, but I think here you take Zach McCarthy. He's a left end, but I think you have to move one of your rushers to left outside linebacker because that's desolate, and I don't think we have very many good options left outside linebacker. Figure something out. Move a edge rusher out back there, someone capable. But Zach McCarthy, he could be that guy. He's quick. He's still fast. He's not a slouch. He is strong though, and like that might be what you want.
Yep.
He's very aware, good at tackling, and good at pursuing the runner. You know, I think Zach McCarthy, any team could have him and find some sort of place he could play because he's just that versatile. I think he's listed as a power rusher. I could see him as a run stopper. Maybe not quite as finesse. Doesn't have that finesse really as that's as good, but it's serviceable. Yeah. Um. Wait. No. Alex, did she disconnect? Well, Alex is having internet issues. Sadly, it's been kind of an issue since quarantine. So I'm gonna vamp a bit. Yeah, McCarthy's yeah, McCarthy's McCarthy. Uh, kind of hard to vamp without Alex's, because Alex has a different pick. Spoiler alert: than McCarthy. Uh, maybe going back to the safety position that we haven't seen in over 14 picks, almost half the draft. Um, it's exciting. Cody certainly needs safety. Just I'm not a huge fan of these safeties. Um, or I just don't know because I didn't scout safeties because I don't need a safety really. So if I'm sure there's plenty of players I've missed that might go top 32. Probably both of us missed a couple players that flew under our radar could come up here, and because we're not colluding, we're not getting people to give us all the scouting in the world. Except shout out to Twinkie for helping us out with uh Alice Albright, right tackle. We both were missing parts of his scouting, so thank you very much for that. I don't know if Alex is coming back. Oh, he's talking. It says. Um, let's see. Ooh, there we go. You there?
Um,
There we go.
yeah, 1 second. Something happened. I
There we
can
go.
kind of hear
Sorry
you.
for that technical
There we
difficulties.
go. Jeez. Professionals here.
Thank you for listening to me vamp. That was really awful. Filling time's not my specialty.
No. Alright, sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. Oh no. Tyler, you there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Sorry, I was reading Twitch chat. Try and
Oh,
keep
sure, sure,
up,
sure.
just 'cause
Yep,
conversation's half the fun.
exactly.
Shout out to Twitch chat.
All right. Did you hear my Westbrook
No, I mean I was
pick?
vamping that whole time. I was like hinting
Oh
at
wow.
Westbrook. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sorry about that.
Guys, no, no. I completely lost connection. All right. Anyway, for the Cowboys, I do have them going to Michael Westbrook. Yep. Thank you for putting that in. He exploded onto the scene at the combine. He, I mean, that's where he caught my eye. He's the best strong safety in the class, and the Cowboys lost Bubba Love. I think they want to replace Bubba Love with someone, and Jermichael Westbrook reminds me the most of him, and especially at that combine grade. Bubba Love had like a 7.1 coming out. He has a 6.9, which I find
Sure.
very nice. You know,
Yeah.
he's fast, he's quick, he's agile, he can jump.
Oh yeah.
Who doesn't like safeties that can jump?
Go up, get that ball, especially during those Hail Mary situations. Just seal that
Exactly.
game. Harrison Smith,
Oh yeah. Oh,
Week
especially
17,
especially if it
Harrison
ever
Smith
comes
at
down to like
Lambeau.
a last, especially if it comes down to like a last play, like a
Yeah.
Hail Mary situation. You never want your safety to just be inches away from knocking that ball down.
And then,
That would be awful. I would hate if that would ever happen. That would just crush me. Especially if
ugh.
like you had this gigantic lead. Like could you imagine having like this gigantic lead going into the fourth and then just that one play
Mm-hmm.
minimizes all the work you've ever done?
Yeah.
Like man,
Yeah.
oh, hate to see
And
it.
yeah, he's from Hawaii. You know, as Ryan said in the Twitch chat, he's Hawaiian, and
He's
that's
Hawaiian.
special. He's got
Yeah.
that like. If anyone plays Apex Legends, got that Gibraltar uh
He's the
vibes.
flying
The
Hawaiian.
Flying
That's
Hawaii.
that's his
That's a good
he's the
nickname.
flying Hawaiian.
We're dubbing him
He's
the
got the
Flying
speed.
Hawaiian.
He's got the speed for it.
Yeah.
All right, all
Um,
right. After that technical difficulty, let's get off Cowboys.
yeah.
We'll see him soon
Please.
enough.
We'll be back soon enough. And then next up we have the Browns, still under or kind
Oh,
of settling
nope.
into that
Lions.
new. Wait. Oh yeah,
We have
Lions.
the Lions.
I can't read. I cannot read. I'm sorry, Sam. Again, hope you're listening. Hope you can hear my apology, and hope you can move past me mess it up. Getting sloppy here. I think Lions they really need that other right end because they just have nothing right now.
Hmm.
They it's a need. Like most of these other playoff teams don't really have that need. Here, this is 100%
Hmm.
a need, and I think here one of the best players left. There's a few more edge rushers that you can pick. Probably all about the same. I like Jazz Holiday, not just because of the name, although he is. That's a very good name. Jazz Holiday, killer name.
Hmm.
Out of Toledo, he's young, brother of the cornerback drafted earlier, Jeffrey Holiday, out of Connecticut. Well, I drafted him earlier. Alex has not put it or taken him off the board. But
No.
Jazz Holiday, he decided to go to Toledo. His brother went to Connecticut. But this dude, while his combine doesn't stand out quite as much as some of the other guys, he has one thing that I love to see, which is he has a very good power move that's been developed. And like a lot of other rushers, just good at finding the ball rusher. Um, just a good dude. He's young. You can just see him filling in a really important spot on that Lions team, and hopefully, man, Lions have been beat up by this NFC South. I feel bad. Like if it's not me, it's
Yeah.
Jim, or I think
Yeah.
Wiley may have beat him once. And like we need to be put in our places.
That's why he
We
has
need
Kenny Clark.
NFC North to rise up.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I
For
think Jazz
me,
Holiday's good.
I'm gonna keep with the defensive line. I like Zach McCarthy more out of South Carolina.
I like him too, but I gave him to Cody. Go double like triple dipping every year
Yep.
for D line. But
Hmm.
um,
Yeah, so
very good
we
pick.
have that same kind of ranking in terms of one, two, three. Uh, so yeah, I think Zach McCarthy is just better. I think he's a lot more. I think he's a lot smarter. I think he's a lot more pro ready.
Mhm.
His skill set in terms of getting to the quarterback is still a lot to be desired.
Hmm.
But when you have what he has coming in terms of that package, just building a move set that he finds more comfortable is going to be a lot easier than trying to figure out how to get him to see the game and have it slow down for him more, which I think Zach McCarthy can step in and already kind of have it be slow for him, if you get what I'm saying.
For sure. All right. But yeah, again, Zach McCarthy, and honestly, Jazz Holiday and Camp and some of the other guys we're about to still talk about because again, this is such a deep right end, left end class.
Hmm.
Like, there's so many good like second tier guys who are just will be able to make an impact this AGML. And sometimes you just
Yeah.
don't see that in this late picks where you're just kind of picking who's best and hoping for Dev, and if not, they just get discarded. I'm
Yep.
glad we're getting some players that might be able to make a real impact here. Okay, now we have the Browns. My bad, Sam, but Tato's no more. Hasn't been anymore for the last few seasons. Uh, a Brown owner. I'm afraid if I say I'm gonna like mispronounce it because I'm bad at names. I think it's like Kinos. Uh,
Kinos, yeah,
is it
Kinos.
Kinos? That the bet.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I was worried I'd like mispronounce it. Uh, but I think here, you gotta go maybe an unorthodox pick. Baker really fell off a kind of a cliff, uh, after Odell left, and you seems like
Oh, okay.
needs a bit of what? What do you
No,
mean?
nothing. I'll let you know. I'll let you know after this.
Oh God. Oh no. I'm
No, keep
afraid
talking. Keep
now.
talking. No, no, no. Keep
um,
talking. It was just about how you phrased it.
did I?
I thought you were taking quarterback, but I'll let you finish.
I'm not. No, I'm not. Baker's not quite there yet.
Yeah.
Hopefully one day. No, but I think here it might be a little bit of a reach. But with how dry this wide receiver class, there's like Riddle and no like a
And no
a
one.
Grand Canyon, you know.
There's no other one.
But I think here you have to take Kashim Gilbert. He's wide receiver. He's young. It's a good thing. He's young. Um, but he's just a physical kind of dude. Not that fast. Not that quick. I hate to say it. He's a little Laquan Treadwell-y. He's just he can catch pretty good. Like that's really what he's great at. He can catch anything, almost tight end. Maybe a little small to be a tight. He's still 6'2", 219, but um, like I could almost see him being moved to tight end or something. I don't know if we'd allow that, but this dude just catches
I'd love
everything.
to see it.
But he might have issues getting separation, which is my concern.
Hmm.
But at this point, Baker needs someone or just more people to throw the ball to, because he's just not getting it done with who's there right now.
Yeah. I think unfortunately, I like the wide receiver pick.
Hmm.
I like the receiver pick in general because Baker has fallen off since Odell's left. I just think he has to address it somewhere else. There's still some free agents left that he can pluck off of. He can do a trade. I just don't think the wide receiver
Yeah.
class is going to be anywhere near impactful enough
Hmm.
to keep what this team needs. I think they go Jeffrey Holiday. You had him picking just a couple picks before
Yeah,
that to the
he's.
Steelers.
Hmm.
Um, like you said, everything you said. He's budget. What's his name? Budget Hutton.
Yeah.
Which I mean, the Browns' defensive backfield is getting old.
Yeah.
Right? Denzel Ward's 31, Greedy Williams is 30, and their slot corner is 29 and not even that good.
Hmm.
Jeffrey Holiday will at least solidify the slot for now and take over for when Denzel Ward really falls off and Greedy Williams falls off as well. Same height as Greedy. He's 6'2". He's got good man coverage, good press, good, decent acceleration, but he doesn't have that top end speed. So
Hmm.
you need that safety help, which he has some safety help in Jamie Rivers.
For sure.
But yeah, I just don't see wide receiver having an impact in this class that's not Riddle.
Next up, we have the Jets again. It's been a while since we've talked about the Jets. Uh, One of the bigger gaps, probably the biggest gap in for people
Hmm.
who have multiple first round picks. But we had him going Riddle first, both of
Yes.
us. And while he misses on the top quarterbacks in my mock, I think you still have to be like, all right, still plan on going forward. We're building up this nice little defense or offensive core, so I can slot whatever quarterback in, either a vet or rookie next year, or someone trying to make a Heron too, as we've seen many a times, many of Heron attempt clones. But I think here
Hmm.
you have to go halfback. They just have nothing really at Kendall Murphy. And this dude, he's fine. He's decent. Not nowhere to me as good as Bart Leary. Bart's just a physical freak and no can just push through anything. With this guy, total opposite. He's just really good at being slippery, not because he's super strong, but just because he's quick. And he's good at catching the ball, can juke him out, see some lanes. I think he's fine. I don't think he's as good as Alex did. We honestly both had people who the other took a lot earlier for this pick,
Hmm.
which is kind of amusing, I think.
Yeah. I had one quarterback left, and I kept him off for a reason. I'll give you that explanation. I'm taking Gordon Carter here, for SIP, for the Jets. I love his throw power. Like you said, his accuracy is actually pretty good,
Mhm.
for a quarterback coming out, especially out of BYU, not known for making their quarterbacks. Um, my reasoning for why Carter has to go here is that if if I'm the Jets and I hold the number 3 pick, and I don't think I can grab a quarterback this draft
Mhm.
with my second pick, I cannot take Riddle. As game changing as he can be, I cannot stomach another year of Blair Bingham.
Sure.
I could not stomach one of my last 3 seasons with Blair Bingham as my starting quarterback. And so Carter, I'd have to hope deep down as the Jets owner that Carter falls to me at 28,
Mhm.
because I would panic pick White or Hendricks, or any other quarterback that's there, White or
Sure.
Hendricks, just because I couldn't stomach it.
I mean, for
That
me,
is my
yeah.
that is why I have to take Carter here. That's why Carter had to last. Because if I'm the Jets, I wouldn't take Riddle otherwise.
I think, well, for me, I think no matter even if Carter doesn't fall to him, I wouldn't worry because I think you could just find a 1 year veteran quarterback. You even have your old quarterback Darnold, who's fine. A lot of
Hmm.
fine quarterback play. People to develop your two weapons that I drafted. Um, so if you have Murphy, if you have what or Riddle, just even if you don't get that quarterback, just hope you do just bad enough to get a quarterback next season. Hope you can push it out for the rest of them, or maybe just find a vet that someone else wants to move off of. You know,
I hear Kyler Murray might be available soon.
ooh, maybe.
Ooh, insider
But I mean,
trading.
okay, it matters. I'm sure if
It does.
Carter's gone here, I don't know what's left. I don't look that far at quarterbacks, but
Exactly. No, and these are the four. I mean, like, there's none, at least in ours, that are worth a first round pick.
mhm,
But again, people have tried to emulate Heron
yeah,
success. They've tried and they will continue to try. Uh, how well that can happen with the rest of
mhm,
Madden, we'll see.
sure, we'll see.
Which is, yeah,
But overall, doesn't matter as much as it used to.
yep,
All right, next
absolutely.
up we have Cardinals, who's picking where I would have picked. Got a good haul. Got a good few first, a second, fourth. Really good pick selection coming up. But I think here you gotta go with I believe is it Trey Flowers? I think you're playing someone. He's getting old. He's like 35. Let me
I'll
check
check.
to make sure I'm not. But anyways, I have you going, or the Cardinals going Dante, Armstrong, who is honestly just, yeah, it is Trey
Yeah, Trey
Flowers.
Flowers.
Um, but yeah, Dante Armstrong is really again part of this squad of really decent edge rushers that really in other drafts probably wouldn't be this far down
Mm-mm.
because they're all decent dudes. All can get to the passer. Um, I like him. He's a little older than the rest. He's 23, but he's quick. He got that good finesse move. Perfect. I love. I mean, if you have a move, you can go so far. Uh, but yeah, I mean, not a whole lot new to say because they're all kind of the same. You're either power or speed from these guys. This dude's a
Mm-hmm.
speed. He's very quick. Uh, actually, one of the fastest uh, edge rushers in the class. Yeah, you can just get around that tackle. Showed it in college at South Carolina. Um, Pairing on the other side as Boyd, Tyrone Boyd, who went to the Vikings at 6 for Alex, or to the Panthers at 9 for me. So they can South Carolina pushed some really good pass rushes this class, and this dude's a monster. Maybe not Boyd monster, but again, no slouch himself.
Yeah, I agree with you on Armstrong. He I don't think he's like Boyd in that he will transform an offensive line. I think he's a good complementary piece, which I think he showed in South Carolina. They do have Derek Mayo, so lucky for him, Dante Armstrong does get to be that complementary piece on the opposite side. And so that I think will make this pick a lot better than if you were to go to other places near this back end
Mhm.
or even higher, where he's be expected to come in and like fix.
Oh no. Oh no, Alex. Rest in peace.
No, I'm
Oh,
not
good.
picking
You,
that up.
you
Yeah.
good. Sorry,
Uh,
you went out for a bit.
oh, did I? Oh
Yeah.
no. Shoot. Anyway, yeah. So Armstrong, he was a complimentary piece, as I've said
Mhm.
before, to Boyd in South Carolina. He gets to go to Arizona, where Derek Mayo is that staunch, edge rusher, that one that kind of sets the tone on the defensive line. And Armstrong gets to pick up where he left off in South Carolina to be that complementary 1-2 punch instead of being expected to take over the defensive line and transform it.
Mhm. Yeah. No, too good. Just a good player. I think Chance would be extremely happy with Armstrong, especially here. Just a solid
Yeah.
quality player. I could see. Like, I mean, if I was picking here, I don't know if I'd pick him because I run 4.6 and speed rushers aren't really valued in 4.6. But
Mm-hmm.
if I wasn't running 4.6, I'd pick him. I'd love him. Dude's a beast. Next up, sadly, the last time we have a Cody.
Oh
Gun,
no.
don't say that. Uh, yeah,
It's so hard to pick for him,
it
man.
is
It's so
hard.
hard.
He's a good team. Uh, I have Westbrook.
Hard.
You had him going earlier. He's a lot of question marks for me. Um,
Mm-hmm.
just like really what I know. He's a physical freak, and sometimes you just gotta go with your gut there. Bubba Love's
Yep.
gone, but I think also Bubba Love proved that Cody can take someone who would normally not be destined for being one of the best safeties in the league. Got normal Bubba had normal development. Normally that's a killer, but he had a really good career for the Cowboys, and
Mm-hmm.
Cody's just good at dubbing those safeties, and I think Westbrook could be that man for Cody to replace Love. I mean, lots of question marks in his like intangibles, but his combine's so good, it's hard to not look at him.
Yeah. Um, I have the Cowboys taking Kasim Gilbert, getting a weapon for Jamario. They do have the reigning offensive rookie of the year in Darian Spence, right? We
Mm.
haven't had a wide receiver win offensive rookie of the year in some time now.
Oh yeah.
And again, I see the Laquan Treadwell comparisons. I see the separation. Uh, Jamario though has a knack for just kind of chucking it up there and just letting his receivers go get it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Kasheem Gilbert at 6'2" with that vertical and those catching abilities that he's
Yeah.
shown, just those sticky hands,
Mm-hmm.
Jamario is going to have a huge friend next to Darian Spence and Lorenzo Fox, and that's going to be a fun team to watch next year because of this pick.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Again, Gilbert's fine. I don't think he's as good as most second wide receivers in the class would be,
no, no,
but I mean, he's certainly not. He's certainly serviceable
yes.
at some level. Yeah, probably one of the lower overalls of what we have mocked, but I think impact wise, overall doesn't matter as much as it really did in older Maddens, and I think he could still make a good impact.
Mhm.
Next up, we have the runner-up of the Super Bowl, Chris Giants, gonna compete again. Like that team's still so stacked.
He's gonna make it
He
back.
has
It's gonna
to.
he's gonna
Like, there's
yeah.
no way.
There's no way.
I just can't see. He's gonna probably better. Probably Fordham's gonna become so broke. I'm not looking forward to it because
Oh,
I
it's yeah.
I
He's
don't
gonna
need
be awful.
Fordham spooks me so much. I'm
So
scared.
bad.
I'm scared.
Thank
He got
God he wasn't.
Deadeye. He got Deadeye.
Mhm.
Uh,
For a
NFC's
scrambler. For a
cursed.
scrambler. Why didn't he get fucking why didn't he get oops, sorry, Twitch, don't demonetize us. Why didn't he get jukebox or like leapfrog? He's a scrambler. Scramblers don't get dead eye. Come on. That's BS.
Oh yeah, it was whack. But anyways,
That's
I have again just not a lot of holes. It's hard to mock. It's a lot like
yo.
Cody, which is I mean,
Hmm.
it sounds like we're complaining, and if we're complaining about you being hard to mock for, it's because you have a good team
Good.
generally.
Yeah, good job.
Like when you have a top
Congrats.
team, it's like, oh, you have a million things open.
Here's your
Poosh,
best player
here's a
available.
good player. But here it's like it's a lot tougher because the best players are
We have to
usually
talk into reaches essentially. Because no matter what you have, it's going to most likely be a reach because you have to dig into a weaker positional group to pull a need from. Because you just don't have needs where we're deep at.
yeah. But anyways, I think there's still a little room to be improved on that O line for
Hmm.
Chris. I think just going one of the better. It's a late pick. It's Rice. It's Kerry Rice. And again, not exciting. It's a little bit of diamond in the rough, but uh,
Yeah.
he's serviceable. I think he could make an impact and make Fordham either run better, make it so he can get more lanes, or just give him that more time to hit one of his many, 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 many weapons. It's insane. It's stupid. It's not fun to watch because it's like
I mean, I
it's
just I think
fun.
it's fun
It's
to
fun,
watch.
but it's not fun when you're against it and you're like, oh
No,
wait,
I'm in the AFC. I get to watch the Texans stop
oh
me up.
wait, Brandon Cooks got loose because even though I perfectly defended DJ Moore. Wow. Oh wow, they dumped it off to the tight end even though I played perfect pass defense on everyone else. Wow. It's frustrating. Like again, it's but yeah, no.
Good
Right.
job. No, good job building the team though. Honestly, that's what we love to see.
Rice, yeah, Rice is just gonna make it that much more annoying, and I hate it.
Mhm.
I hate it, but it's good. It's good.
Yeah. For the Giants, I have them going Jazz Holiday. Uh, again, the like fourth one down, um, in that sort of second tier defensive lineman package.
Mhm.
Uh, the best parts about him is he's young. He's got good uh, pursuit, good what's the word? Potential. He's got good
Yeah.
potential. Malcolm Grant's 30. They have a decent secondary of right end in Sean Holmes, but I think they can improve on that. The defensive line is And linebacking core, to be honest, is one of their weaker positions, which
Hmm.
isn't saying much because they're strong in a lot of other places.
Oh yeah.
Uh, so I mean, getting Jazz Holiday again, getting that good second round tiers of linemen just to help you
Hmm.
out with pressure. That offense doesn't need any more help. Just
Yeah.
just stop Dowdy next year, and
Please.
then you'll win.
Doty's just
Because let's be
broke.
real. The way, yeah, I'm
I
about to
love
say, let's be
Doty.
real. We're about to talk about the Texans and just
Oh yeah. Now
so
Texans. The interesting thing about them is they just don't have pass rushers right now. Like
no,
front
yeah.
edge. It's just not.
Well, they do not edge rushers. They don't have
They just.
edge rushers.
It's just all in the interior.
Yeah, it's all interior pressure, which
So
is
I think
like,
here it's so like. Thank God. It's just a lot of these teams we've been giving. We've had to like skirt around because a lot of these teams have good pass rush,
mhm,
and finally it's just someone I can be like, thank God it's a. It's like the Lions. It's like just take the one of the rushers. There's still guys left, even if these guys might be like tier 2B, like
mhm,
Camp, Camp, McCarthy, Holiday, and Armstrong are probably 2A. Where now you get to like 2B, where you either take I think Coakley or Frank Abbott, who are both very still pretty good, not quite the level of the other later edge or pass rushers. But I think Abbott, if you want more of a run stopper, I don't think that's as necessary for Utch here. So I think he's gonna go Leonard Coakley, who, while the combine's not as insane as some of the others, uh, still got that power move, and power moves always blessed, hard to develop. So I think Coakley's the pick for Utch. Wouldn't be a bad pick. Uh, Still 21, so ready to make an impact.
mhm.
Uh, would be scared to see Utch with even more pass rushers.
For Utch, he does need D line. I agree with that. He also needs linebacker. And I mean, like everyone has this guy scouted. I understand. I'm gonna get a lot of reactions when I say this guy. But he's top of the draft for a reason, I feel like. So I'm going with middle linebacker Kent Moon. Um, Again,
Ooh.
you guys all know what he is. I just feel like in my heart, you aren't projected to be the number one pick for no reason at all. I mean, he's decently fast. He's a little old. He's 23 years old. He's pretty fast. He's got good agility. He's got good acceleration. He's able to run down uh, offensive players pretty well, and he's a pretty
Hmm.
sure tackler.
Oh yeah,
It's just
he's
for I mean, like he's a solid, and especially at number 32, you can't really ask for more than just solid
yeah.
depth pieces,
Oh yeah.
right? Like you won the Super Bowl. You shouldn't need many holes
Congrats.
to fill. You just kind of need like good,
I just think with
solid
him not
starters.
having good on either left ends or right
Yeah,
ends, I think you just
yeah,
have to go end here, even because there's
yeah.
still some good quality ends. Moon, I know you think he might. I think you're
I,
hoping he is Dev,
I
basically.
am. I absolutely because again, you don't get projected to be just as a straight up draft
Sure.
board. You
I
don't be
just
projected
can't.
to be the number one pick
Hmm.
overall for no reason. That in my heart, I just can't see that. And honestly,
For
the
sure.
Texans have the ability. They can go D line or linebacker. They need to address
Hmm.
both. Let's be honest. Coakley is in that third tier now, so we're kind of getting into where like these second round picks would be
Yeah.
regardless, right? So if I'm the Texans, I'm like, why not take a
For
shot at
sure.
Moon? If he's Dev, I feel like he has a better chance of being Dev than Coakley does,
Sure. But
right?
I think needs more important than
But
Dev
it's not
Hope.
like he does it, but he needs linebacker as well, right? Like he needs linebacker as well.
Sure.
He has 70s starting on the defensive line, on his linebacking core, and he
Yeah.
has 68s, but the 68s are 24. All of his linebackers
Hmm.
are 27 and up.
I don't know.
All
It's
right,
a
so
tough pick.
it's a tough pick. I hope he just kind of takes a shot with it because I'm
Hmm.
interested to see this. If I'm the Texans, this could be a huge boom or bust hit, and if it's a boom, then he can pretty much bank his ticket to the next Super Bowl as well.
For sure. But yeah, I think
Granted,
that's
I think happens regardless. I mean
yeah.
that's a fun team to watch. It's Dowdy is explosive.
Yeah, I
It's
wouldn't
I
be
guess it will be
surprised.
interesting. It will be interesting to see how he does without Kareem Hunt.
For sure.
That will
Kareem
be an
was
interesting.
solid.
Kareem was very good, and he showed and he helped in a lot of games, especially in the
Hmm.
playoffs.
But yeah, I think that about wraps everything up here for the
Mhm.
first round. It's been a good 2 hours. Actually, exactly 2 hours almost.
Oh, nice, good.
So hope you enjoyed it. Talked a lot. Um, this will go up on YouTube in probably depends on how long it takes to upload. A few hours probably.
By tomorrow.
For sure by tomorrow. I'll be
No,
up a
yeah, no
while, so I'll
later.
post it tonight. But the
Yep,
draft doesn't start till like the evening tomorrow. So
yep, tomorrow night.
yeah. Thanks for listening, everyone. I really appreciate everyone chiming in. Uh, on the Twitch chat. Thanks for all our Twitch Prime subscribers. I'm still a shill for that. Love every one of ya, and I love everyone in the league and everyone who's not in the league.
Set a board.
Set a board, please. Set a board. Make our lives
Please set a
easy.
board. We're all home anyway. Set a board.
Yeah.
Good
So yeah. Thanks for listening and have a good night and good luck during the draft.
luck during the draft in the last 3 seasons, guys.
Take care.
Goodbye.